So I received a build from Twitter to review. Aviv, I'm not sure how to say the name. Drow Paladin Ranger build. Let's see what we have going on here. This build tries to max hidden damage of 3 trees. Neither Chalice, Tempest, Drow tree. Therefore it is Drow, 2 up fighting, 14-6 Paladin Ranger with short sword. Okay, so he's doing short sword to work into the Drow stuff probably. Alright. More racial past lives, take color spray, charisma hit damage, set of shadow blades from Fey Dark Tree. Alright, so they're already kind of splitting up a little bit. But let's read through the build and then see what's going on here. I would like to know whether to use Tempest T5 or neither Chalice's T5. Alright, let's keep looking and then we'll figure this out. The gear selection isn't good because I have no items and I want to know what to farm out. That's a really good question. We'll get to that. Will Cleaves from another Chalice be enough AoE damage or should I take Dance of Death? Also, I'm not sure which Epic Destiny is best for this character. In my opinion, Crusader makes the character slightly more defensive but still beneficial, obviously. Ideas for improvement are more than welcome. English is not my main language, so sorry for spelling mistakes I've made or will be. Not a big deal. No one cares if you're ESL. It's not a big deal. It's really not. I think the English is fine. Your English is better than a lot of English-speaking natives that I know. So you're doing good. All right. So here okay. This is the other planner output. This is the non-matrim output. So I'm presuming these are lives he has, or she has, or they have, or whatever. Barb, Bard, Bonk. Oh, they have a little bit of racials too. Okay. And they have, this is good. And then, not. Oh, this is planner output. Okay. So all this planner output doesn't really matter. Let's go look at feats. All right. So they started Ranger and then went Paladin. That's fine. You can interleave. You can Ranger, Paladin, Ranger, Paladin, Ranger, Paladin, and you can potentially get your skill points a little bit better. You can more efficiently spend skill points. But for this kind of build, for this pure melee build, it's not really that important. It'd be more important if trapping was part of this, but it's not, so I guess don't worry about it. Alright. Uh, this is Drow? Alright, so they're taking Force of Personality. They're taking... This planar output must just be the choices as you level up. So I want to say you get Undead and Fave through possibly enhancements. We'll look at that in a second. But Undead, I'm pretty sure you get through. Um, you get through. We'll open up a basic build. Pretty sure you get that through. Mind is blanking. My mind's blanking as hard as a matron planner. Through Vistani. Right there. You get Undead right there. So you can take that through Vistani. All right. What are other? They're leveling up Charisma. So if you're going Charisma, you really should be doing Fey Tree. And you took Magical Training, so they're gonna have the Fey Tree. 100% they're gonna. See, big boy feats, overwhelming critical, 2 up and fighting stuff, double strike, that's good. 2 up and fighting defense. I mean, the choices are not amazing. That's okay. Damage reduction, nothing wrong with that. Embodiment of law, that's fine. And that can lead into some of the destiny choices. Then we have the epic reflexes. So I'm presuming they're going to be in light armor, but well, they don't have enough ranger levels for evasion. So I think these epic reflexes could maybe be something else. Orborea is fine. Um, the other Destiny, well, if they're solo, this is maybe better. Although Ethereal will out DPS this in groups, and it also adds a little bit of it gives you like your ghostly and whatnot. So that's something to consider. Let's see, granted feats. Yeah, some of their enhancements. Okay. Oh boy, this is more planner output. More planner output. A lot more planner output. See, the improved critical. So I mean, they're taking their feats. Yeah, I don't see anything really wrong there. Looks okay. We really want to get into the destinies and enhancements is what we want to look at. Skills are kind of whatever. Skills aren't a big deal. They spent their skills well. I like one and tumble, but you don't have to. If you're charisma based, you don't necessarily have to max out UMD, but you can. They have a bunch of spare skills from Rangers, so it's really not that big a deal what they spend their skills on. So I think this is fine. If you wanted to take more social skills, especially since you're charisma based, that could help in quests. It could help in Feywild and other places where you have to make social checks. That's the only thought there. Again, skills aren't really the hugest deal in the world. It can just be kind of helpful sometimes. And there's a lot of items that you can swap in to boost your skills to hit breakpoints. Like you can swap in search items to get secret doors for XP. You can swap in an intimidate item to make an intimidate check. I mean, it's not the end of the world. Let's see stances. Yeah. Oh, they took precision. That's good. This is more planner output. Okay, now we're getting into it. So they went heavy into Drow. They went 39 into night. Like, okay, they can't take the capstone Knight of the Chalice because they're not level 20 Paladin. So they spent mostly in Chalice. Then they took Tempest partway up. They took Fey. Let's see, Epic Destinies. They did. How does this planner output work? They went heavy into Crusader, which I think is pretty good. It's probably also really good for. This is probably a solo player. I'll go back up and look at the statement as well. They got a little bit. Okay, they took some unyielding for renewal. That's all right. That's a really good self-healing option. And this is actually fine. The divine energy resistance is a good choice. Because you need to spend a little bit in that destiny, and it gets you up to renewal. Plus, if you don't have the augments and whatnot, that can help out quite a bit. All right, this is more planner output. The spells are kind of whatever. I mean, you want to take Holy Sword on the Paladin. The other spells are just you take what you can. You get the Angel Skin, Righteous Command, Pro Evil, etc. Let's see, it's not worried about any of this. This is going to be just a matter of your gear and whatnot. Okay, so I'm presuming. Okay, so they must raid if they are going to use or have Esper. So this is a fine offhand. If you're going to, I mean, if you have them use them, it's helpful to have different offhands to get different effects and affixes. There's really nothing wrong with Esper though. Its force is going to bypass a lot of stuff. There's going to be a couple of monsters you'll need a different weapon to kill, but not very many of them. Like the Helmed Horror, you will heal with this weapon, but that's not a very common monster. See tactics. Okay. So let's go back and look at the actual questions and the problem statement here. And oh, really quick, let's look and see who's responded to this and what they've said. Umbawanga is going to respond about these guys. talking about the old split. This is an okay split. I think I'd rather do pure 20 Paladin than okay. So there's not a lot of responses here. All right. So the actual questions. The gear selection isn't good. They have no items. So okay. So they maybe don't have the Esper. Now as far as the cleaves, um, if you go into the chalice, the cleaves are nice. So you do either do that or you do the ranger dance of death. You do one or the other. If you are gonna do two weapon fighting, it's not gonna be that big a deal with the multiple enemies as long as you can just chop people down. There's a few quests where it's nice to have the cleaves, but it's not the end of the world. So I think this one is gonna be more a matter of which you prefer. Um, Epic Destiny, which Epic Destiny is the best? I'll get into let's get into some Epic Destiny stuff that's just generically good. So let's pull up the planner and let's just put the classes in the planner. I'm not gonna go through the whole process of recreating the build in the planner, but we'll pop them in here so that we can see a little bit what's up. I guess for the action points, I kind of do have to go through this little bit here. Oh boy, it's gonna complain about Paladin a whole bunch, isn't it? Alright, this is what we have going on. Close that. So let's turn on our Epic Destinies. The very first thing for any physical DPS is going to be Shadow. Any physical DPS. We're going to open it up. We're going to take Less Threat and Night Shield automatic. So this will stop magic missiles. I consider this mandatory for your spending. Now the next pieces are variable. You can take what you like. You can take the reflex saves. You can take the skills if you want. This person doesn't have the rogue level, so I don't think that matters. So let's put 1 point into the reflex save because it's the least bad option. Then let's go ahead and take the D-door. Every point in here, in addition to the utility, is also a sneak attack die. So this is quite good. And regardless of which destiny you take, you're going to have situations where you get sneak attacks. Sneak attack anytime that a monster is stunned or is attacking somebody, not attacking you, you'll get the sneak attacks. This is a lot of damage. Alright, so now we're going to put 3 points here to get the maximum sneak attack. This is a point where you could stop, but I think we want to go a little bit further and get to the next core. So now I have to spend 1 more point. This next point is optional where you spend it. It doesn't really matter all that much. You can take more reflex saves. You can take more reflex saves here. So if you're just spending generic points, probably spending your point in Lithe is optimal. Again, you could pick up the skills and whatnot, but this is going to be the most efficient. Then we take a point here. You can stop at 11 if you have to, based on your points available to spend. However, if at all possible, we want to come and pick up the double shot, double strike. The immunity to energy drain is a side effect, but you want to get this double strike. And here is what I consider like an absolute minimum spend in Shadow. At any physical DPS, range DPS, melee DPS, will spend their points. We'll spend these points, and we'll spend these points. The other couple of points to get higher in the tree don't really matter all that much. So at this point, you stop and then figure out what else you want to do. So let's go back to the build. They have a little bit of a choice to make here as well. Whichever tier 5 to use, it does matter. Now, they didn't say anything about ranged. I went into this presuming that this is going to be a build that was going to swap into ranged every now and then. But it sounds like maybe yes, maybe no. If you are going to swap around a little bit, I'd actually do Deepwood if you're doing this, to be honest. Because Deepwood, most of the stuff in Deepwood works for melee and ranged. You would have to make a choice. But the only real choice in Deepwood you have to make would be, where's Deepwood? The only real choice you have to make in Deepwood is the called shot. You have the multi-selector here. You have a really big ranged or a really big melee strike. So sniper shots the bow or the ranged attack. It doesn't have to be a bow. And then exposing strike is the melee attack. Something that's also nice. This will get your sneak attacks guaranteed. So this is another reason why it would be good to um, pump up your sneak attack damage. In getting Deepwood Sniper, you get a couple of sneak attack dice on the way up. So like on the way up, you take for this skill the points for sneak attack. Some of the rest of this is a little bit based on what you want, and it's not super important where you spend your points here. So let's just put a point in tendon cut, which can be okay-ish. You do that after you get the when they're not attacking you. It's not amazing, but it does give you something extra to do, and you could put your points elsewhere as well. So then we put a point. This point matters. The core that point matters. Next, I think we're gonna go with the hit points, and then we're at a point where the skills are kind of whatever. You could put your points here where you wanted. If you wanted faster sneaking, that's fine. Um, this vigor SLA is not very good. Can you use it? Yes. Is it going to do very much? Not really. So probably where I would put my points is to get this damage boost. So get the melee power boost. Put a couple ranks in there. Get this. They're talking about doing a lot of melee, so let's do the exposing strike, and that's going to be a really good place to stop there. Oh, let's also plug in Drow. Where's Drow? Drow starts with a D. It's right there. And they put a bunch of points in the Drow tree, which gives them some bonuses to charisma. And it gives them some bonuses to hit and damage with the rapier short sword. So there's a little bit here. The Drow tree, however, unless there's something I don't remember about this tree, I haven't looked at it in a while, there's not a lot in here that's super amazing. This +1 to hit and damage is not like super great. It's okay. So it's also okay. So some other mandatory spins, regardless of your physical DPS build, you're gonna spend a little bit of points in Vistani, and we'll explain why. You're gonna spend them about like this. I may have spent a little bit too much. Is that 12? It's 12. Minimum point spent would be like that. That's 11 points spent. So what do we get? So we're getting we're getting a little bit of nothing until we get to here. Deflect arrows. That's going to be an incredibly defensive feat. We're also going to get double strike, double shot here, which requires us to spend a few points because we had to spend 10 points to get to this area. Undead favorite enemy. So then you can take a different favorite enemy in Ranger. Uh, this little bit of PRR and MRR, the negative energy absorption, is being taken just because it's one of the least worst options. And then a little bit of these points is acrobatic, again, just to climb higher in the tree. The one that matters is the undead favorite enemy. If you're doing a dagger build, you're going to take the stuff on the left and the right. They're not doing daggers, so we're not going to do that. And then the haste boost. Haste boost is just really nice, so that's a really nice thing to take on the way up to double strike. So physical DPS build, we're gonna actually do that instead. And then it leaves us, we still have a lot of points to spend. Ton of points to spend. So let's go back and let's go look at the build questions and answers again. As far as which tier 5 to use, that's a good question. That's going to be a matter of personal preference, to be honest. Either one would be good. They also they're going charisma and hidden damage, which is going to require Fey Dark. So then let's pull up Fey Dark and spend the points for that. Oh, magical training has to be taken as a feat. The planner is enforcing that. You pick the creature of your choice. Not a big deal. You do have to have the creature out, so pick a creature that you like looking at and doesn't confuse you. It doesn't look like a monster or something. So we're gonna do that. Then what are the choices here? You could take these Shadow Blades if you really have no weapons. And even if you do have weapons, they'll do an enchant on your weapon to make them ever so slightly better. So we'll go ahead and take that. Then we'll take probably Charisma on the way up because that's their hit and damage stat. So then you have to take Charisma to hit and damage right there. Now since this is when you're low level, taking this You've Got My Back is pretty good. Because then you're protected from magic missiles. Later on you can back off and only take 9 points into here. I don't know if I would do Color Spray or not. Color Spray would be, so if you spending your points like so while you level up is pretty good. And then when you get into epics, you can maybe back that off and spend your points there. Because you're going to have some additional options for the magic missile immunity. And you're probably going to want epic defensive fighting, which makes Color Spray pretty hard to use. And DCs start to get to the point where you're maybe not going to land the Color Spray. So then here's your points spent in this tree. So now it's a matter of neither Chalice versus Tempest. Let's get no selection. So let's go look at both of these. And to be honest, you may want to spend a little bit in Chalice anyhow. There's 49 points available. Okay, cool. You may want to spend a little bit of points on Chalice anyhow, just to get. Let's see, strike through. I don't remember how the strike through works with two weapon fighting. It may not help. If it doesn't help, don't take it. I don't remember. But getting to Divine Might is going to help out quite a bit. And I'm also presuming they've taken Vol as their favorite enemy. So let's get this attack and damage there. If we're going up this tree. And then we're gonna continue taking our attack and damage. Getting 1 point in this ability is very nice. I like 1 point in this Knight's Charge is very nice. Then we're gonna Charisma. Let's see. You can take the cleaves, they're okay. On a two-hander, I probably wouldn't bother with them. This is two weapon. So maybe we take that. Okay, we're gonna need to spend 1 more point. Let's spend 1 more point. Again, I don't remember if the strike through is gonna work with two-handed, or sorry, two weapon. If it doesn't, just get some more smiting. Yeah, just get some more smiting instead. Then we're going to want to take all of these things. More charisma for hidden damage. The turn undead doesn't matter. The healing amp is really good. The unwarpable stun outsiders is really good. We're going to take the upgrade to that. It's going to hit evil outsiders and gain 10 melee power. And then we need to spend a couple of points. Couple of points. So you could do some different stuff now. Having the Exalted Smite's kind of fun. It's expensive, but it's fun. You can take it off later. If you run Fury, it's really, really good. If you don't, you can take it out. It's not that big a deal. So we need to spend how many points? Just a little bit. So maybe another. Didn't we take an action boost in the ranged? I don't know if you can take the melee power boost here and here, and if they'll be separate. If you can, that'd be a good idea. If it doesn't work, probably just take points in this confirm critical hits. For convenience, you can maybe back that off a little bit and take a little bit more Divine Might, so you don't have to activate it as often, which can be good. And then you're gonna take everything across the top if you go all the way into Knight of the Chalice. Now, every time I sit down like a paladin, I end up coming back to Knight of Chalice because Holy Retribution is amazing. This is just going to kill everything. So even in epics, even in Reaper epics, this is going to kill everything. And when you get it as you're leveling up, it's just things are dead. So you don't need to worry so much about the strike through and the cleaves with literally just this. Having the cleaves is nice, but once you group up a pack and hit them with with this ability, they're just dead. The rest of this business, more healing amp, that's just good for survivability. To 10 melee power alone would be a reason to take this. Since you're the killing or stunning evil outsiders, in addition to chaotic outsiders, is just amazing because we're stunning them as well. And then this ability is very good as well. Even if you're not fighting evil outsiders, the fort bypass and attack and damage is good. So we're going to take that. And then they only went to so much Paladin, so that's as far as we can go there. Spending your points like this would be really, really, really good. Then you have points to go spin in your pointy-eared tree. The Drow tree is really not very good though. It's kind of bad compared to some of the other racials, but I mean it does give you a little bit of charisma. It does give you a little bit of attack and damage, so it's okay. It would honestly probably be ahead overall if you did long swords and did Knight's Training, which I think Umbawanga in the thread mentioned. So if you're going for optimal DPS, I'd say, and you're going for 2-weapon fighting because you like the style, I would say go the long sword route. There's also a lot more interesting long swords than short swords. If you just want to do short swords specifically because you like short swords and Drow, then okay, not a big deal. If you also want to go for effectiveness, going daggers and heavy into Vistani would also be fine. That would be 100% fine. Every time I look at this, like I think about spending points in the Tempest, but I think you're just going to be so far ahead going Paladin, it's not even funny. But if you wanted to go Tempest, you could. I would just take all the Knight of the Chalice, stick it into Tempest. I haven't ran one of these in a while, but it's just having run Paladin is just it's so smooth. It's buttery smooth. And it'll also go into your Destiny choice a little bit better also, I think. On Destinies. So okay, we spent some points on Destinies. They spent points. Well, I'm spending points now. Let's go unyielding. It sounds like this person's a bit of a soloist. So let's go ahead and put the minimum points for renewal. 6 points into unyielding for renewal. Then that gives 33 points for something else. Um, Actually, let's take these out. I lied. If they're gonna go Crusader, which would be an excellent destiny, other destinies you could just go finessable melee. You could just go all in on Shadow, and that would be fine. That would be really good. If you went all in on Shadow, you would take probably Grim Precision. You would take the strike. The strike is good. So let's back this off and let's pretend like we're gonna go all the way into Shadow. We'll take the Shadow melee strike. We'll upgrade the melee strike for the extra dodge. See, we need to spend a little bit more points. Okay, so then, well, if they are going into Shadow, we can take the mantle and then take the upgrade to the mantle. Keep upgrading the strike. So this will be relatively defensive as well. This ability makes people sneak attackable and triggers quite a bit. Probably pick up the extra helpless damage because you're going to be stunning a lot of monsters. I would say the extra accuracy, but actually let's pick up this ability. The leap from some of the shadows is kind of fun. You can take it if you want to. I would probably just go for the fortification bypass though, myself. Let's see. Weird goes off of highest ability score plus assassinate. You may have trouble making this work on a melee. You can try it, but it's probably not going to work. So you have a finessable melee weapon. I believe short swords are finessable. So you could take the critical multiplier. Whatever destiny you take, you want to get whatever it says, improve the critical multiplier. Um, this upgrade is okay, but not amazing. And then the epic moment, you probably want to take this. So take the epic moment. And then that leaves enough points to spend in Sentinel to get up to renewal. And then maybe take another point in Sentinel because every point in Sentinel also gives you the 35 hit points and the 5 melee power. So it actually gives you quite a bit more than like say some of the other destinies do. So this is an option. Let's back on some of these points out. Let's just get back out of all this business. Back to... Okay, we're back to our minimum points spent. So that's an option. Another option, let's go Crusader. So we're going to go Crusader. We're going to go with Consecration. This is very powerful. And this could also let us get away from having to go all the way up to Renewal in Sentinel. Because there is healing here. So then we need to spend points on something. Oh yeah, we're going to take... So if we go with this Smite, you might want to take the more smiting in the Paladin tree. And then getting your smites back faster would be kind of nice. Okay. So, but first we're going to take the mantle because it's going to give us some upgrades later that we want. Maybe put. Let's see. Is this 1 point? No, it's multiple points. And I would say for this person, putting points in a little bit there for the extra hit points and fortification, that opens up this core. To get every core in this tree is pretty good. It's giving melee power and hit points. For somebody without gear, True Seeing and Blindness immunity is pretty good. See the implement bonus. The implement bonus would help for some things, but not everything. They already took Vol, so they don't need to do their pick their deity. You definitely want to take the consecration upgrade. Being struck by magic. You you could do this, but I think we're gonna get more bonus out of making our weapon better. Oh, we just spent a lot more points to get up. Let's let's get a little bit faster regeneration on the Smite Evils. That'll help them quite a bit. This is going to be very good for you. This is going to help with your questing with like so the question on cleaves. This is going to help because it's going to stun a lot of critters. Anything that says double strike is mandatory. Let's see. This is going to be probably the better thing for the solo player. PRR and the absorptions and petrification immunity. Now we have some choices to spin to get to the top. So let's see what we have for options. Um, Critical hit damage. What are the choices? Improved Sunder is not going to help the solo player all that much. Let's go ahead and pick up. This is a Paladin. The saves are going to be insane. Let's pick up the faster smite regeneration. 3 more points to spend. If we choose this ability, Shield of Light, it's a little bit more PRR, which will help them. The other option was to get a little bit more higher crits. Let's go the PRR. The Magic Missile immunity is going to overlap with Shadow Dancer, but that's okay. That's not a big deal. Not a big deal. Because the if you ever do go quest, the threat reduction is going to be very valuable. And then favorite enemy, critical multiplier, we want that. Again, I'm presuming they've chosen wherever the favored enemy thing is here. No, sorry, the faith line. Here it is. They chose. Oh, actually, there's no. Oh yeah, Drow, full core. Yeah, they picked that. If they're doing short swords. Let's see. There's an embodiment of law, so it's gonna do extra damage. Let's see. If you already had it, instead, yeah, more damage. Applies the vuln stacks. Yeah, so that's gonna be mandatory. And this is gonna be really good for the solo player. Let's see. Your shield is okay. They're not using a shield. Smite Evil applies Crusade. Yes. Also, this person has religious lore, so the PRR and armor class, more so the PRR, that'll help a lot. 4 points left. With the remaining 4 points, gosh, with 4 points left, you basically just pick up anything that was kind of nice that you wanted to get a little bit more of. So maybe you get a little bit more of the hit points and fortification, and then you take like let's back that off by 1. Take 1 point in unyielding to get 5 melee power and 35 hit points, and then take this energy resistance. It sounds like this person doesn't have a lot of stuff, and this energy resistance can help them quite a bit. It's a convenience thing. These last 4 points are just kind of things that are convenient. If this person is okay with casting resist energy for every element, I mean that's fine. But this is one button click and does a lot of work. So I say we go with that. For this person, I think this is going to work out very well. There's a lot of healing from the smites. There's a lot of healing from consecration. There's a lot of personal survivability throughout the Crusader. There's a lot of really good damage and some utility through Shadow Dancer. So if I was doing this build the way they're doing it, I think the feat selection is fine. I think the build split is also fine. But this is what I would do overall. And then with your last 11 points in your enhancements, again, put them in your pointy ear tree, in your Drow tree. Um, you could also, if you wanted to go up a little higher in Vistani, you go a little bit up, and you need to spend a few more points. Oops, wrong one. You have to get to this Miststalker 4. So we're at 17 points. So then we spend points on things that don't really matter a whole lot. So let's just spend a point there. Spend a point just kind of wherever. It doesn't really matter. I'm literally just spending points to get up. Okay. And then take... Oh wait, no, I needed the... Oh, here it is. Celerity. You want to get the celerity, my bad. You want to get to the extra double strike. That is where you could spend points. If you didn't want to do that, you would back this out all the way back down to here, back to the 11 points. And you could spend your points wherever. You could get a little bit more hit points and PRR. That'd be pretty good. That's something you could do. I think this is Wisdom Dex. Okay. You could pick up some more nice things in Chalice. The more I look and think about this, I think you want to go Chalice instead of the other way, because you're gonna get a lot of you're gonna get enough sufficient AOE here with like the cleaves and especially the Holy Retribution that the Dance of Death isn't gonna be all that amazing. Now this is pretty cool, don't get me wrong, but I think overall Chalice is gonna give you more bang for the buck. And also you like the Divine Might, which even if you don't go full Chalice, like if you spent these same points into Tempest, take this extra 9 points and get the Divine Might, if nothing else. So that is what I would do there. As far as gear was the other question? See, so we talked about Tempest or Knight of Chalice. We talked about the AoE, the Epic Destiny. Crusader is really good solo or in groups, and not a lot of people take Crusader. So if you join a raid, like it's gonna be really good. Let's see, no items. The items are gonna depend on what packs you have. That's gonna depend on what packs you have, and the key to the items is you're gonna want to pick up something that gives you the artifact to double strike and double shot into melee power. So you have a lot of different options. If you have Sharn, I would do the Sharn set, the Sharn melee set. Sharn's a really great pack, so I would do that. If again, it really depends on what packs you have. So either the Sharn melee set, the part of the family, you could do summer and a little bit of winter. You could do like 2 to 3 winter and summer if you have Feywild. If you have, let's get past all the Feywild stuff. It sounds like they're a new person, so I probably wouldn't recommend going after a lot of the weird old stuff, because it gets into some crazy gear Tetris. So let's just scoot past all that business. Because doing some of those sets is going to require a lot of gear Tetris. Now let's get to Salt Marsh. What's the Salt Marsh set? Salt Marsh set. The Salt Marsh set I would not recommend. The individual pieces were not amazing. The set's not very good. If you get this new pack, there's going to be a lot of gear Tetris. People will be posting gear sets pretty soon. But honestly, your biggest bang for the buck is probably going to be the of the family. It's going to be the easiest way to gear up. Where to go? There's always groups to run Sharn. So I would just go after the set bonus here, and then prioritize items to give you regular double strike. Um, well, you know what? Let's actually just kind of look at that too. Equipment. Oh boy, that's real big. Thanks, 4K. So with your other family, also you can take whatever weight. So part of Shadow gives you evasion, which can be good. So let's put him in light armor. So and of the family comes in every weight of armor, so that's pretty handy. Then family. So here's his hammer fist. Family. The non-raid necklace. So we'll do that. Okay, so that gives him a pretty good start. So from here, the things you want to do as best as possible are get your main stats in place and possibly some defenses. So really from here you have a lot of options. Um, you basically just need main stats, and that come from a lot of different places. There's also going to need to be an artifact. Uh, there's a really good artifact that would be reusable on other builds too. I could have swore it's like a bright something. There we go. This would be a really good artifact. It's big charisma, armor piercing. That'd be a pretty good one. You have a little bit of gear overlap. It's not bad. Um, I say that particular artifact because it comes from a quest pack that's easy to farm. Um, but you want to get some kind of artifact going on. Like I said, there's a lot of different ways you can go from here. But if you get the Sharn set and just put on main stat like Charisma Con, you're gonna be looking pretty good. Let's also pop this open. Let's say if you had Feywild, you could also something that would be very good for like a newer player would be like the Winter Boot. Then let's put on like the Winter. Let's go for Winter. The Wolf or Bear. If you can get some help farming Feywild chests for the Wolf belt, that's better. If you have the Bear belt, that's fine. So we do that. Let's see, we need some kind of base double strike item. Oh, actually, you know what? If Feywild is involved, let's get this. That's Insightful Double Strike. That's a stat you're going to want, and Charisma. That's going to be good. Then let's get... What else could we do? If we can get them into like a Titania hat, that'd be good. They'd be farming a lot of Fate Twisted chests. So this would also be 2 summer. Let's see. So that'd be a really big, or sorry, 2 summer. So it'd be a really big MRR bonus to help them stay alive. And they have a little bit of winter. You could keep stapling on. Let's just look at some stuff. There's so many options that you can do. It's just crazy what all you could do. We're running out of winter pieces that are good, unfortunately. So maybe we don't go with that. But that's an option. You'll need to work in a little bit more charisma and constitution. which you can do through the Sharn rings, the Celestial and other craftable Sharn rings, would work out very well for that. Like I said, you go a lot of different directions. There's also for the Charisma melee, this is a pretty good trinket. This quality double strike, Charisma 3, and the greater heroism built in is pretty good. This would be a pretty okay place to start. You could also, uh, if we're going Sharn, see if I remember the name of the item. Collective Sight. The Collective Sight would be a good piece for the kind of solo player. You may have to beg somebody to help you run this to get this item, and then you can put on like the big like Constitution and this extra Charisma or something. You could do like that, and have people help you with the crafting as well. There'll be people that have a bunch of these ingredients and can help you run through that. So let's see, they need get somebody to get you a shatter augment or let's see, they don't the paladin's not gonna need stunning. Oh, like this item is kind of nice. You could have put charisma on this item also on the celestial topaz. Uh, what's missing from here? There's charisma, there's con. Oh, it says they need base con. This item would be very good. This is also Sharn, so we're trying to simplify our gear set a little bit with using Sharn. There's base con, and this is a very recyclable item and has some defensive stuff on it too. Has the improved deception to also help make sure you're getting all the sneak attacks. So all those 400 times we took sneak attack are going to be extra good here. Then from here, like, is there another, just like any random ring for shatter? Oh, this wouldn't be bad. This is kind of a weird item I didn't think about. But you need shatter for your fancy paladin tier 5 ability. I'm literally just pulling it out just for the shatter and the insightful combat mastery. A little bit of dex on there is okay. It's just not like an amazing item. And then like cloak could be all kinds of stuff. See, we already have insightful con on the boots. What's the other Sharn? The other Sharn cloak is good too. If we're looking Sharn. Where are you? This cloak. So this cloak is okay and has, you can put a quality, oh, not charisma unfortunately. So maybe like quality con or something. And this gear set, oh, we already have quality charisma here. This gear set wouldn't be the end of the world. It'd be fine. And then your short sword, for the moment, you use the Barovian one until you get like a fancy short sword. And as this is being real slow, there we go. Alright. Yeah, I said short sword, not throwing it. I don't know what's up with that. So, again, into Sharn. This legendary Moon Willow is very, very good. Um, there's not a lot of short swords in general. So short swords are not the greatest weapon, to be honest. I would go dagger or long sword, but if you were going short sword, go with probably the Moon Willow. Especially if you don't have access to raid gear and whatnot. Oh, I'm missing an artifact. Yeah, you need an artifact. What am I doing with this gear set? This gear set sucks. We need an artifact somewhere. Let's see. Armor piercing is covered. Disciple double strike is a very good stat. You may have to just like, okay, what else can we do here? Ideally, we'd find an artifact that's not a complete pain in the ass to go get. See, Charun, but Charun, I think, armor piercing, yeah, it's gonna cover, overlap a lot. That's an option. Again, the most important pieces are gonna be the Sharn set itself, and then just get your con and charisma up. I like the winter boots or some of the Sharn boots. Sharn boots? Actually, Ravenloft boot that have freedom on them is nice. Like I said, there's a lot of different ways you can go on the gear, and then eventually filigrees. Um, Solo player, you probably want to go Shattered Device filigrees first. So we're gonna go melee power, melee power, and then we'll do. They're not gonna have any access to raid stuff, so we're not gonna worry about that. So let's go reverb. Actually, hold on. Yeah, we go Shattered Device, and then if you're Paladin, you're gonna work your way into what's called Sanctified, and then just go melee power, Sanctified. Fill out your Shattered Device to 4, and do that first. What did I say? Shattered. Shattered Device. Let's take the attack and damage, and then let's take the next best one, like either PR or MRR. Maybe armor piercing. No, let's put armor piercing. Why not? And then Sanctified to 5 is your next step. So then Sanctified, you just kind of take like whatever. So like we take like Charisma, take Sanctified. Oh, maybe like, what's the Smite Evil one do? More Smite Evils? Sure, why not? Sanctified. These options matter less than the initial melee power. So this is not looking too bad. And actually, we could have done the attack and damage here for the shattered. This would be a very good place to start. And then from here, if you get to this point, you'll be in a pretty good spot. Again, you can do different artifacts, but I start with the Sharn set, build out from there. It's probably going to be the easiest. The rest of your build I like. It looks good. I'll try to find whatever server you're on. Try to find a guild or a Discord. Join the main DDO Discord. Ask around, ask questions, ask more questions on the forums. Go to Reddit. Like I said, you're looking like you're doing good. Um, that's just the commentary I have for you, and I hope this helps. Yeah, just enjoy your DDO experience. Thanks.